In the eternal embrace of the snow-capped sentinels, where the Alps stand as nature's unyielding forge, cradling glaciers that calve into turquoise tarns and valleys etched by rivers that sing of forgotten floods, Switzerland awakens from the Pleistocene's icy shroud, a mosaic of multilingual meadows and multilingual myths, its 26 cantons like fractured jewels hewn from granite and resolve. Our tale ignites not with the toll of federal bells or the chime of cuckoo clocks, but in the tentative bloom of 5000 BC, when Neolithic wanderers of the Finn culture, cloaked in birch bark tunics and sinew-bound sandals, descended from the Jura's misted flanks to terrace the Rhone's loamy laps near Sion, their flint adzes cleaving sod for emmer plots that danced in the zephyr's hush, while lacustrine clans on Lake Zurich's stilted palafits, huts woven of alder and reed rising like defiant herons from the shallows, netted perch by torch-gleamed twilights, their hearths exhaling peat-laced vapors that mingled with the low of aurochs and the trill of alpine swifts, these corded-ware kinfolk etching the first furrows of permanence amid edelweiss-starred swards, where wild yaks grazed under unblemished vaults. As the Bronze Age gilded the crags around 2000 BC, Highland smiths in leathern aprons hammered solar motifs into Osutevi blades at Singin's cairns, bellows sighing like weary dragons, as families traversed salt-traded passes with amber talismans strung like captured sunbeams, bartering torques with Rhaetian herders, whose hill forts crowned the Engadin's emerald escarpments. Villages alive with the clangor of tongues and the laughter of children fashioning clay votives to the unnamed Earth Mother, whose womb yielded copper veins from the Leuchberg lodes. The Hallstatt twilight of 800 BC shrouded tumuli in Urnfield elegies, mourners in fringed wool, lowering jarred ashes into barrows near the Thurs Serpentine course. Ritual pyres casting elongated shadows across foggy plateaus where chieftains slumbered with coral-clasped fibulae and situlae, brimming with mead's mythic dregs. Ravens croaking auguries from sacred linden boughs. As the Latan Celts surged in 450 BC, their oppida of Manching's ilk sprouting palisades atop Montvully's verdant vault, tattooed Helvetii in torque-twined necks driving two-wheeled war cars through mist-veiled moraines. Oppida forges birthing iron-tanged falcatas that whispered of druidic groves where mistletoe rites invoked Cernunnos amid the rustle of roe deer and underthaw thickets. Julius Caesar's thunder rolled in 58 BC, the Helvetii horde under Orgetorix, a chieftain in lynx pelt mantle, his eyes like storm-lashed tarns, mustering 368,000 souls in Geneva's grassy amphitheater, wagons groaning southward in a tide of turf and tallow, only to shatter against Roman cohorts at Bebracta's bloody breach. Aedui allies wheeling through Gaulish gorse as Caesar's commentaries immortalized the repulse, eagles wheeling triumphant over the sown sanguine swirls. Aventicum's Roman grid unfurled in 15 BC, toga-clad surveyors staking forums amid Aventius thermal springs, Vindoniss's castra echoing with the tramp of legionary hobnails, as radi auxiliaries and scale hauberks drilled by aqueduct arcs, merchants from Ostia unloading garum jars in turreted tabernae, where Batavian boatmen pulled the Limmat's languid flow. The province of Helvetia, a bastion of the Limes Germanicus by 15 AD, Augustus's Germanic campaigns bridging the Rhine with oaken pontoons, Rado-Roman hybrids in hybrid painuli, blending Minerva oaths with Alpine animism under the Helvetic haze. Diocletian's tetrarchy tempered the frontier in 300 AD, watchtowers spiking the Saint, Gotthard like vigilant pines, centurions in Hamada barking orders to comitatenses amid the steam of Aquae Helveticis Caldaria, where thermal veils shrouded, whispered plots against the barbarians gnawing at the tail. Alemanni axes bit deep in 406 AD, Subic warbands in mail-ringed fury fording the Rhine's January thaw in hollowed longships, clashing with crepuscular Romans in snowy St. Maurice defiles, villages of thatch and wattle succumbing to tallow torch infernos under Aurora's emerald lance. Frankish Clovis sweeping the detritus in 496 AD. Merovingian Salian banners cresting Burgundy's burgs as tonsured missionaries from Luxeuil plunged Alemanni into rose baptistries, their woolen stolas sodden with the chill of conversion amid meadows where Edelweiss nodded in nascent spring. Carolingian coronets gleamed in 800 AD, Charlemagne's Missi Dominici traversing Lake Constance's coracles to decree Villa Regales. Peasants in surf-slung smocks tilling rye beneath the Capitol's distant dome, timbered refectories exhaling the savor of emmer pottage as Ottonian abbeys ascended in 950 AD, St. Gallen Scriptoria aglow with quills dancing across vellum in Carolingian minuscule, black-habited Cenobites chanting vigils over cloisters where rose gardens perfumed the predications of Cluny. The investiture schism scorched in 1077 AD, imperial prelates in Zurich's minster hurling anathemas at Gregorian envoys, Hauberked knights clashing crozier with crozier under the echo of excommunications that reverberated through Radolfzell's rifts. Zeringen's Berthold V staked Bern's bear-haunted Borg in 1191 AD. Masons in hotted cowls laying the Zeringer Brunnen amid the Aries aqueous roar. Burghers in party-colored hose hawking salt and sable in arcaded arcades as the eternal oath of 1291 AD sealed the Rütli's nocturnal pact. Uri's Werner Stauffacher, Schweitz's Arnold von Melchthal, Unterwalden's Walter Fürst clasping hands by Uri's Ernersee under Luna's argent gaze, axes thrust into meadow turf as the Bundesbrief's runes bound freemen against Habsburg's Hydra. A confederation forged in fog and fealty that would anvil the ages. Morgarten's mist-shrouded melee in 1315 AD avalanched Habsburg chivalry, halberds hewing through plate and defile deluge, boulders bounding like Thor's ire as Leopold's lances splintered on the Skiltron's steel. Tell's arrow cleaving the apple in Altdorf's linden-dappled square, circa 1307 AD. Gessler's tyrant gaze transfixed by the bolt's unerring flight, a legend that kindled the Confederate flame. Sempach's 1386 son saw Winkelried's sacrificial lunge, the Lucerne lion man impaling himself on Austrian pikes to breach the hedge for pikemen's pious plunge. Naffels's 1388 heights raining crossbow quarrels upon fleeing foes, avalanches avalanching the aftermath in Alpine applause. Appenzel's 1403 hayfork hordes routed abbatial knights at Vogelenseg. Red-hooded rustics reaping readers in rolling ridge-tops, while Burgundian thunder in 1474 AD besieged Granson, Charles the Bold's bombards bellowing against the Orbe, only for white-crossed vanguard to vault the walls with Zweihanders whirling through the breach. Merton's 1476 morn parted lake mists for the Confederate charge. Burgundian falchions falling before the phalanx's pious push, the anvil of Alpine audacity hammering Habsburg hubris into history's hilt. In this crucible of Celtic clamor and Carolingian cant, from Fine's planted seeds to the Rütli's resolute roots, Switzerland emerges not as empire's echo, but as the Alps' autonomous anvil, struck by sword and schism, yet ringing with the resonant resolve of a realm where peaks pierce the possible, and the eternal oath endures like Edelweiss in eternal snow.